Hello Astro subscribers and welcome back to another video in the Nakshatra or Lunar Mansion series of Vedic astrological or Western Hermetic astrological thought. Now, if you're new to this, what is a Nakshatra or a lunar mansion, or if you're talking to an astronomer or lunar station, it's effectively the distance that the moon moves in one day. So, one 24-hour solar cycle, the moon moves a certain amount. It moves roughly 13 and one-third degrees, meaning that if you multiply that by 27, you get the entire ecliptic of that we use in both Vedic and Western Hermetic astrology. So, and also in astronomy as well. I'm just tracking the orbits of the planets. Now, you may be aware, most people are who study this stuff, that some signs have co-rulers like Scorpio, Aquarius, Pisces. What the nakshatra system is for every little bit that the moon moves every 13 and one-third degrees, that it moves every 24 hours, you get a second co-ruler for that particular area, that chunk of the ecliptic, of which there are 27 um, different nakshatras for the whole entire ecliptic. So every planet you have actually in your chart is in a sign, and it's in a house, but it's also in a nakshatra. And understanding the nakshatra, the sign, the house gives you a better insight into what that person or you may be experiencing, feeling, going through on a daily basis, and also can help you make predictions for the future once you understand the method. Okay, so today we're talking about the Nakshatra of Anuradha, which is in the sign of Scorpio, from 3 and one-third degrees Scorpio to 16 and two-thirds degrees. And if you don't know, Scorpio is the fixed water sign. It is ruled primarily by Mars, and then the other two planets that co-rule it are the south node of the moon, or K2, which represents forced detachment from a particular aspect of life, and Pluto, which represents deep research and generational change. So, and of course, Mars is conflict and war and personal ambition and all these things. Scorpio, the sign itself, is a tactician who seeks to dig under the surface to better understand his opponents and conquer them. I guess you should say her, because it is technically, being a water sign, having a feminine energy, but it is a very combative and um, deeply troubled, I suppose, feminine energy, due to primarily the influence of the South Node and Pluto, as well as Mars being a malefic itself. So, the Nakshatra of Anuradha, which is again from 3 and one-third degrees Scorpio to 16 and two-thirds degrees, you get the co ruler of Saturn involved in this. So, what does this do? Basically, Saturn is the planet of delays, of delayed gratification, of reward. The best way I've found to think of Saturn is like a postman, which is fitting because it also represents government workers. But a postman or the DMV or something like this, you order a package, the package takes 30 years to get to you with Saturn, because Saturn's entire orbital period, meaning the entire time it takes for it to go 360 degrees around the ecliptic, is 30 years, basically. So, what you get with this is a very long orbit that represents delays and patience and reward over time. Saturn tends to give a minor reward every 2.5 years and a major reward every 30 years for a person. And during this reward period or period of hardship, depending, we call it a Saturn return. Um, so when this energy comes into the energy of Scorpio, what ends up happening is a person will spend long hours researching, and will spend also, they have very good relationship longevity, because Scorpio being second from Libra, so the second position from Libra, Libra representing relationships, Scorpio representing the value of relationships, also known as relationship longevity. So these people have good personal physical longevity, and they tend to be young appearing into their old age. People with many planets here, they tend to be able to devote long amounts of time to research because the energy of Saturn and the energy of Pluto coming together gives a person a patience for research which is not found anywhere else in the zodiac. If you've seen a few of my other nakshatra videos, I talk about the Shaktis, or the powers that are associated with each of these 13 and 1/3 degree nakshatras in the sky. Each one of them has a particular Shakti which corresponds to it. This is like this nakshatra's superpower, effectively. And what ends up happening with these people is their superpower is the ability to focus, is the ability to devote themselves to a person, to a task, to a thing, and be exceptionally loyal to a fault. This is the area of the ecliptic where that power is nested, you could say. You've also probably, if you've seen a couple of my other videos, heard me talk about the second co-ruler to this. There is a method that I'm using to gather these. I'm not making them up, but you have to wait on that because I'm going to have to release some other videos first before I can explain that to you. But the secondary co-ruler of this nakshatra is the moon itself, which is related to emotional health, emotional well-being, and subconscious reactions to the environment. So these people tend to, upon fully understanding this nature, tend to gain emotional peace through their sense of devotion, although their lives can be very, very turbulent because all of the planets involved in this nakshatra are malefic. However, if one understands the nature of this weird little cocktail of malefic energy, they can find peace, and that is their second superpower, so to speak. Um, that was my video on the Anuradha Nakshatra in Vedic astrology. Please tune in next time for Jeshta, which is the last nakshatra in Scorpio. See you then.